Why I had to leave the Midwestern town where I grew up, and why I'll never move back. A stranger in a strange land. So, number one, I've always wanted to travel, see the world, live in other countries, experience life in different places on the planet. So, being naturally adventurous, a free spirit, living in a place that is stifling your spirit and crushing your soul, you feel a great deal of motivation to get out of that place and move away. I've always been interested in languages and other countries. I met people with a similar mindset when I started working overseas and working seasonal jobs. Nomads, bohemians, free spirits. I guess you could say I started to find my tribe, the kind of people I felt at home with. We're on a similar wavelength. We have things to talk about. So number two, limited opportunities, and nothing interested me. Many people move to a larger city, like where I'm from. Many people move to a larger city that's about 30 minutes away or so. Some move to Chicago or Minneapolis. Most have to for a job or doing something in their field or something they're interested in. So in a way, growing up there, you become an economic refugee. I think this is true with many small towns in the US. You have to leave for work at some point. So number three, why I left the Midwestern town I grew up in. Number three, the mindset. That there's like a toxic vibe, the mentality of the people. They're just not adventurous, at least the people I grew up around. There's just no desire to see the world, to try to have a different life, no interest in the world outside of their small bubble. Just do your 9 to 5, settle down, get married, get a mortgage on a house, watch TV every night. So feeling trapped, like you have no options, feeling cursed in life, it was kind of a depressing mindset that we're stuck here, life sucks, but there's nothing we can do to change things. So just do drugs, get wasted, get the girlfriend pregnant, whatever. It becomes a toxic environment. And I went through that period during and after high school where I was partying a lot. And after a few years, I could see where things were headed, continuing down that road. And it wasn't going to be good. I'd end up getting trapped there too, and it would be kind of a living hell. I might never get to leave. So I didn't fit in with this mentality, and so it was time to go. Number four, why I left the Midwestern town I grew up in. The weather sucks. Now, this is kind of a tough one. I do love winter. I have great memories of spending time outside in the snow. And I joke, if only winter would stick to its 3-month time frame like the other seasons. But where I'm from, it's cold for half the year, literally from like November until April or something. And it's dark outside for much of that time. Like the sky is usually gray and overcast. You rarely glimpse a blue sky and very little sunshine for weeks on end. So that definitely contributes to the sort of depressed vibe there. In the U.S., I've come to see the desert, like Arizona, Nevada, Utah. I see those places as my home now. When I'm in the States, at least, I love the landscapes, the giant saguaro cactus, lizards crawling around everywhere. The sky feels different. It's a deeper blue. And even in winter, you get days of sunshine with that blue sky. The air feels better. So the weather's definitely part of it. But I've also found more of a common feeling with people who live in that region of the country. Just bohemians, free spirits, people who are into hiking, who are able to spend a lot of time outdoors year round. And people who take road trips around the desert. A lot of amazing stuff to see, national parks, the Grand Canyon, and there's a lot of RVers, seasonal workers, travelers in that area. And I definitely see more of that when I've lived in northern Arizona and Nevada. So I see that part of the country as kind of a spiritual home now, and that's where I'll be if I live in the US in the future or travel back and forth between overseas travel and maybe a summer seasonal job in that part of the US somewhere. Number five is just adding this kind of I just number five is basically just to wrap this up. I can't imagine what life would have been like if I'd stayed in my hometown. I'm glad I left, Not sure I would have survived this long. I know people who got pretty messed up on drugs, spent time in jail, have criminal records. So that's one outcome for some of the people I grew up with. And now, when on the rare occasion when I went back there over the years, only probably once or twice in the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years, I don't recognize anyone there. No one recognizes me. Time has moved on. I feel like a stranger in a strange land. It's kind of like a weird sci-fi movie or something. But at the same time, I don't feel much of a connection. Like, I have these memories from growing up there, but everyone is gone. My parents are no longer living. There's no home base there. So it makes me feel kind of rootless. There's no home to return to, no place where I have that feeling of home. So it's a weird relationship with my hometown, my home state. I would probably rarely go back there if I didn't have some close family and a few friends in the area. So I guess, like, wherever I am, that's my home for the time being. And I keep roaming, living in different places. But I've embraced the life I have. I love the freedom, the ability to travel and see the world. And it's what I always wanted to do when growing up. Experience life on this planet, see it with my own eyes, meet people from all over the world. So I'm doing what I've always wanted to, having this adventure, this journey. When I was growing up, me and my friends used to joke that the small town we're from, about 50,000 or so people, but we used to joke that it was like some kind of experiment, like a government experiment. Like, they threw a handful of maybe normal people, or what we considered normal back then, in with just a complete freak show, and just to see what would happen, see what the results are, to study this town maybe. So we used to joke about that and have this theory about it, and not to cast shade on anyone, we were probably like the weird ones, or definitely, a lot of freaks among me and my group. So when we were growing up, but that was kind of our funny sort of joke about the town, was like this experiment, basically. All right, that's it for this one. If you have a similar situation with your hometown and you just had to leave, you had to get out of there, you couldn't see yourself staying there for the long term, for the rest of your life, let me know in the comments. Love to hear about that. And thanks for stopping by, everyone. See you in the next one.